It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived it haunted me day and night. Object there was none, passion there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. One of his eyes resembled that of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. His eye would trouble me no more. If you still think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. There came a knocking at the door. I went down to open it with a light heart. For what had I to fear? There entered a man who introduced himself as an officer of the police. A shriek had been heard by a neighbor during the night. Suspicion of foul play had been aroused. I smiled, for what had I to fear? I bade the gentleman welcome. The shriek, I said, was my own, in a dream. The old man I mentioned was absent in the country. The officer was satisfied. My manner had convinced him. He sat, and while I answered cheerily, he chatted of familiar things. I felt myself getting pale and wished him gone. My head ached, and I fancied a ringing in my ears. But still he sat, and still chatted. The ringing became more distinct. The sound increased. Was it possible he heard not? No, no. He heard. He suspected. He knew. He was making a mockery of my horror. Anything was more tolerable than this derision. I could bear those hypocritical smiles no longer. I felt that I must scream or die.
Dissemble no more. Here, tear up the floorboards.